Testing, testing. Test. Thank you.
Check 1, 2.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll call the January 20th, 2016 meeting of the Charter Authorizing Panel to order. I want to welcome everyone to the ADE auditorium and ask you to please silence all of your electronic devices. With no objection from the panel, I will move the two reports to the end of the meeting and ask you to take a look at the consent agenda, the minutes from November 17th, 18th, and 19th. You've had an opportunity to review those minutes. Are there any questions or corrections? If not, I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion's been made by Dr. Gocher and seconded by Dr. Jones to accept or to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion has passed unanimously. We'll move into the action agenda. A1, 2016 Open Enrollment Charter School Application. Ms. Boyd, you're recognized. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. Panel members, the 2016 Open Enrollment Charter School Application includes revisions to existing prompts as suggested by various stakeholders and updates the timeline as approved by the State Board of Education in August of 2015. Approval is requested to present the application to the State Board in February. Do you have any questions or concerns about the changes made or any additional suggestions?
Panel members? Ms. Pfeffer?
I just have a few comments that I like the organization. I like the streamlining of it, and I just appreciate the work that's gone into doing this. So I just wanted to make that comment. I think it'll make it an easier review process.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Any other? Then I'll accept a motion to approve the application.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Ms. Barnes and seconded by Ms. Pfeffer to approve the 2016 Open Enrollment Charter School application. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is passed unanimously. Action item 2, 2016 District Conversion Charter School application. Ms. Boyd, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The 2016 District Conversion Charter School application includes revisions to existing prompts as suggested by various stakeholders and updates the timeline as approved by the State Board of Education in August 2015. Approval is requested to present the application to the State Board of Education in February. Do you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns or additions to make to the application?
Board members?
Question, Ms. Boyd. In your revising these applications, what was the major change between the open and the conversion charter application, or were there any major changes?
There weren't a lot of major changes. I would say the most significant changes were with the budget pieces. For both, we allowed them to start including federal funds, which is something we haven't done in the past, but it will be communicated to the applicants that there's a burden on them to make sure that they can explain why they've got those estimates for those federal funds of revenue. And then also for the district conversion, previously we didn't have any budget questions for them, but now we are asking them where they're going to get the money from to do the new programs that will happen in their charter.
I think that's a good addition. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I'll accept a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Dr. Jones has made a motion, seconded by Dr. Gocher, to approve the 2016 District Conversion Charter School application. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Good job, Ms. Boyd.
Oh, thank you so much. And Thanks so much to everybody who helped us work on this application.
All right, that moves us to reports. We'll start with the chair's report, and Ms. Boyd, I have asked Ms. Boyd to assist me. We've two items that we'd like to bring before the panel today. The first one is I've asked Ms. Boyd to put together an Excel document of waivers, and because I'm very visual, I needed to see what were the patterns of waivers that were approved. And so she's been working on that. And Ms. Boyd, you want to kind of fill in with what your thinkings of next steps are?
Right. So first I'd like to give the appreciation to Lisa Maddox. She's not here today, but she's the one who kind of dug in the trenches and got these details for us on one chart, and we really appreciate her hard work. I sent you all the waiver chart last night. You should have it. And you see it's a very, very extensive document. There is, it's the one that says draft waiver. So you see it has the waivers outlined for open enrollment charter schools, district conversion charter schools, schools of innovation, and then our new traditional districts that are now receiving waivers. As you can see, the document is very expansive. It's not up to date as of yet. Charters and waivers are constantly growing in the state. And so just last week, Barton Lexa was granted waivers. They haven't been put on this this chart yet. But so across the top, you see we have those different classifications of schools and the waivers they have. And then the very last column gives you the number of schools holding a particular waiver. So down, going vertically down on the left, you'll see the topic of the waiver, the general topic, the code and statute, and then additional information. We are working to get this into a form where it will be ready to put on the website, but we want to be able to give the public a little bit more information as to kind of like a frequently asked questions document about how to interpret some of these things. So for example, you can see in the beginning there are a lot of schools that have waivers on school year dates. We don't want anybody thinking that we're letting schools have fewer days, because that's not the case. In most cases, the schools have extended years. So we would probably make like a general comment, another column that says general comment, and let them know generally that's what that waiver does. It usually has limitations. All the waivers have limitations, and before we give it straight to the public and put it on the website, we want to make sure that we provide them with that information. Do you have any questions or concerns or comments about this document?
Dr. Saunders?
Yeah, I just want to comment. I think it's a great document. It's a great way to look at that and to help us to look at the trends and the different things that are going on. And I know it had to take a lot of work to put this together, so I appreciate that.
Thank you, Dr. Saunders.
Yep.
I think the work is exceptional. I would ask one of the points that you and I have been discussing, in the top left-hand corner, you've put the date, the latest date that it was revised. I think I would make that large and bold, okay, so that it's very noticeable, because just like you said, anytime there's a state board meeting, additional waivers might be granted, and when people look at this, they need to know exactly the last date it was updated. So that's going to be critical. I think the work is exceptional. It helps me to see the patterns.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, suggestions? And I would invite our colleagues from APSRC that I know are in the audience, would you take a careful look at this, and if you have any feedback for us, let Alexandra know. That'd be much appreciated. All right. You have a professional development.
Yes. So I've been made aware that you guys are going to have a wonderful opportunity to work with the National Association of Charter School Authorizers to receive some training. So they're going to come to us, and you guys are going to receive training with the state board, so that you all can get on, well, not that you're not already on the same page, but on the same, maybe stronger page about charter authorizing and a lot of things that go into authorizing charter schools. Some of the things that they're going to help us to understand are the role and responsibilities of charter authorizing and preserving school autonomy and protecting public interest, performance-based accountability, including the importance of multiple measures, which you guys already take very seriously, and we appreciate that, and school-specific objectives. And then we'll also get to discuss aspects of authorizing and charter school community that are of particular relevance to the state board, and especially here in Arkansas, since we have a lot of rural schools. So they'll be speaking to those points with you. We are currently holding 4 dates for those trainings. They'll be the Friday after the state board, and they'll either be in February, March, and either February and March, or March and April. So just to keep that in mind. So it'll be the Friday morning of state board, most likely from about 8 to 12:30 on both of those Fridays. Do you guys have any questions about that?
The reason we don't have secure dates is the paperwork is in process for the procurement. Mr. Rogers' office will take care of that with Doug. And so they are holding those dates. The state board has selected our meeting dates to be that Friday, which will cause the reports that are usually on that Friday to be moved to the Thursday of state board. So there'll be some long days, and so they have requested those dates be held. If you want to mark your calendars, it's tentatively February 12th, highly unlikely. Probably March 11th and April 15th. And Commissioner Key has requested that all members of the charter panel attend both sessions. Any questions or comments?
So just from what you said, it's mandatory then, and I'm not because I'm trying to flake on my responsibilities or anything like that, but I do have evidentiary hearings set on those dates.
Okay.
So
there will be open meetings, so we'll have to check with the Nexus and see if we can videotape those.
that would be great.
Yeah, we'll have to check. Alexander, will you help remember to ask that question? I can't imagine why we couldn't, but we'll double check. All right, any other questions or comments? We'll move to report number 2, February hearing procedures. Good morning, Ms. Davis.
Good morning, Jennifer Davis, staff attorney. I believe, did everybody get a copy of the proposed procedures?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I have a few extra for anybody else. And y'all have the chart that Ms. Boyd had put together. Okay, so as y'all know that the February charter panel meeting is now 3 days, and there's a whole lot going on during the meeting. And in order to try to help simplify and streamline things, because many of these schools are being heard for 2 different reasons, and both of those reasons follow different hearing procedures, in lieu of having 2 hearings, we gave the schools the option of a combined procedure. And so most of them all have agreed. I believe the 2 in red have, I think, verbally consented, but we've made them sign an agreement saying that they do agree to it, and we have not received that back, but we do believe that by the time this meeting happens, they will get that back to us. So what I passed out to you, the first few pages should not be anything different. They're just the regular procedures as they are for district conversions. And we've noted in this chart which procedure, what school is being heard for what, and what procedures are going to be using. So come February, we're not figuring it out on the fly or getting confused, because I know I will be. So in this packet of hearing procedures, the last page has the combined hearing procedures. And really the only difference is, and these procedures, I believe they do say they're for open enrollment, but they will apply to district conversions as well, the one on the. But the only difference is section 3. That section is traditionally not included in the procedures for applications, renewals, or amendments. So that's been included for a combined procedure. And then section 6 and 7, those are not included for any kind of modification, probation, or revocation. So we've basically just taken both procedures, combined them all together. It's nothing new that we've been doing. It's just we're going to be doing it all at once. Also on section 3 of the rules, where it says the Department of Education has 20 minutes to present its agenda item, generally Ms. Boyd and the Charter Office will just present, kind of give the history, what has gotten us to this point, and go from there. It's not really that we have a case or anything of that nature to present. It's just giving you background information in order to lay out the reason that that charter is being heard that day. So hopefully this will kind of cut down more, just because it's going to be such a busy 3 days with all these issues, just so that way we don't want to be unfair to the schools and not give them the proper hearing procedures. We don't want to miss something, and we don't want to spend half the day, or at least I don't want to spend half the day trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing and not actually doing it. So hopefully this will help cut down on any confusion. And if you have any questions or concerns, I'll be glad to answer those at this time. And we'll provide this to you again next month. But we just wanted to give you a heads up of what's coming up.
Any questions or comments, suggestions?
Other than thank you, Ms. Davis, for working on this. This is going to help give the time needed for the district and for the applicants. So thank you.
And we're definitely limited to this list of schools, or is there a possibility of any addition?
At this point, this should be all of the schools that can request amendments at this time. Unless I don't even think at this point the commissioner can grant a special request. It's too late in the calendar, so this should be it.
Okay. The chart is very helpful.
Yes.
Extremely helpful. All right. Thank you, Ms. Davis. Are there any other issues before the panel today? Dr. Jones has an announcement.
I do. This will be my last hearing for the charter, and it's the Bentonville School Board hired both my husband and I to offer positions. I will be going to Bentonville School District as Deputy Superintendent, and I really wanted to express my appreciation to not just this board. You know, this is a really tough job, and I have found that you are all knowledgeable and unique in so many different ways. Everyone at the department brings different skills to the table, and you're genuinely good people, and I see that you make decisions based on what's in the best interest of students, and I admire you for that. I think that we'll have lifelong friendships, and I will miss you. I really want to thank the people within Learning Services Division and Alexander, bright, young leader, educator, under the mentorship of Mary Perry, who is just fabulous, and I appreciate the work that they do every day. I don't know that the state really recognizes the knowledge that we have at this level, but I'm amazed, and I'm better for having been here. We start the next chapter in our lives, my husband and I, and we'll be closer to family, and we have children at U of A, and I'm excited about the opportunity to get to work in a district that truly exemplifies excellence, and I know that just the next part of my journey's beginning. I have a lot to learn, and I'm excited to get together there, but I appreciate the relationships we've built here. Thank you.
Motion to not approve the departure of Dr. Debbie Jones.
Can I get a second? Well, Dr. Jones, you'll certainly be missed, but as other assistant commissioners that have come before the panel, you know that you'll be back to see us, and we'll be up to see you. Best of luck to you. Any other questions, comments? Then I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Pfeffer and seconded by Dr. Saunders. All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.